From AccuWeather.com, this is AccuWeather Daily, a brief host-read article. It's weather news in a nutshell. Spain continues to reel from its worst flooding in decades after a year's worth of rain fell in just hours this past week in the country's southern and eastern regions. The storm began Tuesday and has so far killed more than 200 people, while dozens more remain missing. It has also flooded towns and roads, caused rivers to burst their banks, and left thousands without power or running water. Valencia saw its heaviest rainfall in 28 years, with people caught off guard and trapped in basements and lower floors of buildings. Emergency workers are still fighting to rescue those who are trapped, with operations underway to recover bodies and clear debris. Spain's eastern and southern regions often see autumnal rain, but this year's downpour was unprecedented. Most of the deaths occurred in Valencia, which is located along the Mediterranean coast and is home to more than 5 million people. The flash flooding in the region, a tourist hotspot during summer months, saw rural villages submerged in water and rendered main highways unusable this week. A courthouse was turned into a temporary morgue in the region's capital, the city of Valencia. Trains have been suspended in Valencia, as have other major public services in other affected regions. Schools, museums, and public libraries were also closed. Hundreds of residents were outside of their homes on Thursday, cleaning their entrances, looking for belongings that the floodwater may have carried away, or taking out furniture and appliances that have become unusable. More than 1,000 members of the military have been deployed to assist in rescue efforts. Valencia's regional leader, Carlos Mazon, told the media this past week that bodies were found as rescue teams began to reach areas previously cut off by the floods. As of Thursday morning, emergency services said they had reached all of the affected areas. The Spanish government sent emergency alerts on Tuesday, asking people to stay indoors or seek higher ground. Extreme rain warnings were put in place for some areas, including around Valencia, according to Spain's meteorological agency. Those warnings called for a potential of up to 8 inches of rain in less than 12 hours. Many people were caught off guard, though, giving them little chance to escape to safety. Some took to social media to vent their frustrations, claiming that they received the emergency alert in the midst of the storm. Hannah Cloak, a professor of hydrology at the UK's University of Reading, said the high death toll suggests that Spain's regional emergency alert system failed. Spain's Prime Minister, Pedro Sanchez, offered support, pledging his government would do all it could to help flood victims, as he urged people to remain vigilant. The Spanish government also decreed 3 days of official mourning, which began Thursday. There are still thousands in Valencia's suburbs who are still without power or running water. The torrential rain was likely caused by what Spanish meteorologists call a cold drop, which refers to a pool of cooler air high in the atmosphere that can separate from the jet stream, causing it to move slowly and often lead to high-impact rainfall. This phenomenon is most common in autumn. Figuring out the precise role that climate change may have played in Spain's devastating floods will require further analysis, but scientists are clear that global warming driven by fossil fuel pollution makes these types of extreme rainfall events more likely and more intense. Hotter oceans fuel stronger storms, and the Mediterranean hit its highest temperature on record in August. Warmer air is also able to hold more moisture, soaking it up like a sponge to wring out in the form of torrential rain. This week's floods are the most deadly Spain has suffered in decades. Back in 1959, 144 people were killed by a flood in the Spanish town of Riba del Lago. However, that disaster was caused by the failure of a dam rather than a natural event. The last comparable natural disaster was in 1996, when floods killed 87 people in the Pyrenees Mountains. While Spain has experienced significant autumn storms in recent years, nothing comes close to the devastation wrought over the past week. The disaster is on a similar level to flooding seen in Germany and Belgium in 2021, which killed more than 230 people. That's all for now. For more stories and regional forecasts, visit AccuWeather.com. And for your local forecast at your fingertips, including a hurricane tracker, download the AccuWeather app. Enjoy the rest of your day, be safe, and I'll be back on Monday with more from AccuWeather.